Hi everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel's Super Cute Creations, and we are here today to make some boho pockets. I have been making some pockets, and I want to make pockets for my boho kit. So I'm just going to show you an example. Here's one of from my bloom kit, and this cute little pocket is made, has little tuck spots. This one I added a little paper clip to it. And you can take this and put it in your journal. I'm going to grab a journal that's on my desk and show you. So I could take this pocket and I could insert it pretty much anywhere I wanted, just to add a little pop of color. And if I just glue the three sides, it will allow for another tuck in the back. But these pockets are pretty big and they stuff a lot of things in them. So I'm just going to show you. I have a quote in this one, a little journaling card, a tag with some mini tags tucked in here that you can journal on the back, another little tag, a little note card, and a little flip up. So we're going to make one of these today, but we're going to make it boho style. So for those of you who bought my boho kit, my Bohemian Bazaar kit, I'm just going to use one of my dyed papers that I put in there. And I like my pockets to be about 4 inches high. If you don't want it that high, you can certainly make it smaller. So I just take it, I leave my paper folded. If you don't have your paper folded, you're going to want an 11-inch piece. So this is an 8.5 by 11 paper, and I just cut 4 inches. And then I come back in, and I like my pockets about 4.5 or just a smidge less. It all depends on what you want. Or you can make your pockets 5. So if your pages are 5.5 wide, you could make them 5. I'm, in this case, going to make it 4 3/4. And now I'm going to take and put my cutter away. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to also cut this one because I'm going to show you how to make one with sewing, and if you don't have a sewing machine, how you can make one with just some glue. So let me just go ahead, and I apologize if you hear some pounding in the background. We have some work being done on our house. We're having hardwood floors put in, and I've been dying to video for you guys, but my husband's been saying, you can't video if I'm going to be working. And finally I just said, you know what, I'm just going to deal with the sound, and we're going to go ahead and just do it. So now that I have my pockets, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew on this one around the 3 sides. So if you give me just a second, I apologize for the noise. And I'm just going to put it on a zigzag. And I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm just quickly zigzagging around it. Sorry for the time. And we're going to go one more. And do remember to backstitch. If you are sewing, do remember to backstitch at the tops, because that is going to get a lot of use and you don't want it to start falling apart on you. So there it is. It's just real simple. I just went ahead and just did a zigzag. Now I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have a sewing machine. And so I'm just using Fabri-Tac. You do not have to use this glue, but I have learned to love it. I saw a lot of my mentors online using it, and I was like, well, it can't be any different than the good old tacky glue that I've been using. So I did not purchase it because it's expensive. It's about $10 a bottle if you don't use a coupon. So finally, I was like, you know what? I am going to give it a try. And I love it. It dries quickly. And it adheres to almost everything. Okay, so here's our 2 pockets. now I'm going to dig into my kit and decide what is it that I want to use. And if you don't have a kit, don't worry about it. Just get some pieces out that you might want to use for your designing. So I am just going to pull a few things out. Okay, here we go. I'm definitely going to use fabric because I love fabric, but I have these cool paint chips. So I want to do something with these paint chips that I included in the kit. This one is Copper Gleam. I know it's hard for you to see in the video, but it is absolutely beautiful. And it definitely fits the boho theme. So I'm just going to build some things here. I was lucky enough to have a friend who was able to get me these amazing paint chips that just go perfectly with my boho theme. But if you know somebody, they do throw these paint chips away. And some of them have beautiful images and they have nice sturdiness to them. I picked these and included them in my kit because my friend gave them to me. And I thought, what an amazing picture. You know, that might be too big for right there. But this is definitely beautiful. So maybe we'll use this. So I'm just going to adjust this. And I just start playing. I just start playing with things. I look for images. I look for things, fabrics that inspire me. And sometimes I use napkins. I decoupage napkins on. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. So because this is a boho journal, I think I might use a bit of this map. I'm just tearing a piece. Not very well. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to just fussy rip this, if that's even a crafting term. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's here in Michigan, it's raining, but I'm not complaining because we definitely need rain here. Yeah, so I like that, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add some fabric. The other sort of go-to item that I use all the time is muslin, and I like to use this cheap muslin. You can buy really expensive muslin. I don't, because I like the stuff that I'm able to pull the strings out quickly and fray it because it's the style that I like. Some of you use cheesecloth, some of you use, you know, other fabrics. I just love that this cheaper, and I just buy it at Walmart or sometimes I get it at Joann's with a coupon. And I just love the fraying. Okay, so I'm just layering, not really being too fussy. Let's see if I can find some. I also, in my kit, included some of this gorgeous bright pink silk. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add this to the back of here. The other thing about Fabri-Tac, if you like to use your sewing machine, it doesn't get glob up your needle. So I do like to use that when I'm going to use my sewing machine. As I said, remember, you don't have to use a sewing machine. You can glue. If I glue this and leave it as is, we're good to go. So I'm just layering, just making different dimension with this. I'm going to ink maybe if I can find my ink tool. I don't know if anybody else's desk just gets to be a disaster when you're crafting like mine does, but I am messy. And I clean it up and I try to stay really organized because I can't work in chaos, but I always seem to end up with the same thing, a mess when I'm done. No matter how hard I try. Okay. So I'm adding that there. Remember, you can use any glue that you really like. I'm just happening to use Fabri-Tac because that's what I have in front of me. I'm going to just zigzag real quick down here to give it some dimension. I could use black thread in some of the embellishments that I did for this kit, or for this kit and journal. I used black thread. I happen to have white in there, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm now going to glue this down, and I'm going to make an additional pocket. Oh, I'm getting low. I may have to switch glues, guys. All right, so I'm making an additional pocket in the front. Okay, so let's get this on here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of let that dry. I'm going to want to put a word or something on here. I'm not sure what yet, but I am going to set, you know what, but before I do that, I am going to ink these edges a little, and I'll trim these threads in a little bit. Some of you like to leave them. It depends on whether I just, when I'm all done. So I typically will trim them at the end, just because I'm not sure if I want to keep the threads as part of the design or I want to get rid of the threads. That's just my personal. All right. Okay, so we're going to kind of set that to the side. I tend to always try to put a tag in them. I either make the tag or I put a, sorry for the noise, or I put a tag in there. In this case, I'm going to use a guest check because it is what is in your kit if you bought one of my kits. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to embellish this guest check. Let's see here. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just come in and ink my edges. Guys, I appreciate your patience because I'm just doing this as I go. I'm just letting you see my thought process and how I do things. Sometimes I do them ahead and I just share with you the end result. But this time I just wanted you to kind of work with me, see how I create, and we kind of go from there. Okay, so I just inked the edges of this guest check. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to just do some work with it. So in the kit is this gorgeous orange fabric, and it goes with the fabric, or with the card that's on the front. So I'm definitely going to use some of this. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm going to try to rip this, but I don't know what's going to happen. Yep, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. It's going to fray. All right, that's all right. So we're going to start with this. Just straighten out my edge. I'm okay with that fraying. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, just a little bit shorter. So I'm thinking I want sort of that. And I'm just going to do sort of a staggered fabric effect here with different fabrics that I have, just because I want to use them. And a lot of you have been asking me, you know, how do I use these fabrics that are in my kit? I don't really know. Well, this will be perfect to kind of show you. And this is another thing you can do on a page. If you just want to use a bit of fabric. You don't want to, I'm just going to trim this just a smidge. Sorry, guys. I told you, you're stuck with me in the middle of my creative process. So, all right, I just wanted that a little bit shorter. And let's see, let's do one more. So I'm kind of trying to stick with the colors that are in here. And there's some of this gold, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to start by just putting a little bit. Oh, the only thing I don't like about this glue, see this? If you don't put the lid on right after you use it, it will start coming out the top. All right, while we're waiting for that to come down, use just a little bit of my tacky glue. And as I told you before, you can use just about anything. When you're using sheer fabrics, you have to be careful how you use the glue because it will come through. It will show. So you want to be careful how much you use if you're going to sew. If you're not, it's fine. I mean, it's perfectly fine to have some of that glue show. I have to get my other bottle of Fabri-Tac. I'm trying to use this one up because it is so expensive. I don't want to just throw it away. All right. So, just went ahead and I layered this on here. Excuse me. Then, all I'm going to do is put it on my guest check. Now, if I'm going to just use glue, which there's nothing wrong with, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to make sure that it's all tacked down. Careful not to put too much glue on so it leaks through my sheer fabrics or my sari. And then I'm going to come onto the back and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I like a little bit of mine to be sticking up. I don't want it all to be flat. It all depends on what you want. So at this point, you know, we've glued this, we've created a tag, and you could put some words across here, you could put an embellishment. In the kit is some of this gold sequin, which I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of that on here just to decorate it up a little bit. So I'm going to use my glue again. Oops, I didn't mean to use quite that much. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add this, and I now have this gorgeous tag. Now, because I have a sewing machine, I am going to go ahead and just do a quick little stitch down here. Once again, you could be done just the way, just where we ended it. You can be completely done with that. Whoops. And of course, I unthreaded my machine. So while you're working with fabric scraps, remember that you don't need a lot of fabric. I tend to work in with 6-inch squares or 5-inch squares of fabric. I can get a lot more if I don't have to buy as much fabric. If you go to a fabric store and you buy fabric, it's perfect. A fat quarter is plenty for junk journalers. Sometimes we think we need a lot. You really don't need a lot of fabric because you're just going to use it just to kind of enhance what you've already got going on. So, all right. Okay. So here's what we ended up with. I think it's very cute. I think definitely you could use one of your boho words right here if you wanted to. I don't think I have any on my desk right now. But you could certainly use a boho word there. Or you could leave it as is. So here's our first piece. And I am going to trim some of these threads. So give me just a second here. I think that's cute. It gives you a spot to journal on. If you don't like the threads on the back, you can just put another piece of paper over top of them. But there is our first embellishment in our boho journal. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, those of you who know me know that I love music paper, and I thought it was absolutely perfect for a boho journal. So I'm going to come and get my cutter again, and I am going to cut a 3-inch tag, just like that. This is an easy embellishment. Take my glue stick, this down. Oops, I got it off track, guys, sorry. Okay. Then I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to cut my tag topper, just like that. I'm going to go around with my ink and ink it up. As I said, real easy. I know we're at about 20 minutes, but sometimes these, once you get going, you can do them in intervals, and I also tend to do, like, if I'm going to make 3 pockets, I tend to just go ahead and make the 3 pockets, and then I'll go ahead and make 3 tags and kind of go like that. So I feel like when I'm done, I have quite a bit accomplished in an hour's time. But in this case, you know, because I'm doing a process video for you, I'm not doing that. But definitely, you know, use your time wisely. If you know you want to do pockets, and sometimes I just do pockets. If that's all I have time for, I'll come home from work, because I do work full time, for those of you who don't know that, and I need to do a little bit of crafting just to calm down. I'll say, you know what, I'm just going to make pockets today. And I just have the pockets ready so that when I want to pull some and embellish them, I can. And then I don't have to get my sewing machine out all the time, because I do like to sew. Sometimes I get in the sewing mood, sometimes I don't, just depends. But if I want a bunch of tags, like a bunch of music tags, I just go ahead and do them. I just sew them all and have them ready, and that way when I'm working, I can just pull them out. So just kind of a little tip for you. All right, almost done here, guys. All right. So here we are. Here's my tag. You know, and I can stick it in there. I can be done. I can leave it just like this. I can add a little bit of something. Let's see, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of this for the topper. And just give me a second. I'm going to, and it's, you know, it's kind of, you know, I think I might do it like this, because it is sort of a flimsy fabric. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it just like this. Here we go. Now I have this tag, and I'm not going to add any more to it. I think it has enough character to it that I don't need to. I am going to add just a dollop of glue right up here because it's flimsy fabric. If you have a regular type of fabric, it's not going to be a big deal, but I just want to add that. So there's my tag. I usually try to add a piece of ephemera if I have something. Oh, I do have this gold tag. Hang on. This would be perfect. So if you have my kit, you got one of these gold tags. So there's another piece of ephemera, and I was able to tuck that right in there. I have some other pieces in my kit, so I just have a whole wad of ephemera that I keep. So you can, you know, tuck things in, see what fits. This little map is cute, and it definitely will fit with our theme of Bohemian. Let me see here. And these pockets are just great. They're just, this one, oh, perfect. This one says Gypsy Luck. So that is absolutely perfect for this. And so there you go. Now you have a pocket that was really easy to make. I oftentimes will include these index cards, and I just dip them in tea and throw them in the microwave to dry them. And just to jazz them up a little, I just zip around them with my zigzag real quick. And I'll show you in a minute. And then you can just add some fabric to the side. You don't have to do a whole lot. You can add a sticker, you can add a stamp. And they don't take a lot of time. This is another thing that I typically will keep in my stash. I'll just sit there and just sew around a bunch of them so I have them ready. And hold on, one more side, sorry. But I love them. I just think they really add, and they're perfect journaling pieces for people who love to journal. So there it is. I just grab and I just ink around them real quick. And then you can just, as simple as grabbing a piece of fabric. So here's a piece of my sari. And I actually didn't quite need that much. So I'm going to show you a quick trick on this sari. You can take this sari and you can rip it and make it smaller pieces and get a lot more for your money. Sari can get kind of expensive because it is silk. Alright, so it's as simple as that. There's a journaling card. It looks cute. And I add it to my boho pocket. And there we go. We have a whole embellishment pack. You can add something here if you want. If you wanted to add some words or whatever, you're welcome to. If I wanted to, I could add, you know, I could bedazzle it up. Some of you got in your kits, you received some of these. This would be really cute to add here. And if you don't want to put it in your journal, it's a great little packet to send your junk journal friend. Just make a really quick pocket. So I hope you like this tutorial, everyone. If you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel at Rachel Super Cute Creations. I am getting ready to do, as soon as I hit 5,000 viewers, I'm going to be doing a huge giveaway, 3 journals, and some other prizes. So I hope you all liked this. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and I'll reply back to you. Have a great day, everybody.